Hi fire signs, welcome to this pick a card reading where we look at what you need to know for 2024. So I've got 3 decks here. We're purely going on intuition today, so we're using our intuition. Look at the decks and see which deck stands out to you. We've got deck 1 here, so this will be group 1. Deck 2 or group 2. And finally deck 3 or group 3. So the messages are for Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. So if your sun, moon or rising sign is Leo, Sagittarius or Aries, the messages may be for you. You're welcome to look at the readings for the other signs as well, for earth, air and water, if you have a sun, moon or rising sign that is earth, air or water as well. So the messages, it's any important messages. It might be relating to an event, a running theme or a turning point for you in 2024. We're looking at what do you need to know. So again, use your intuition. Which deck is sort of calling out to you? What do you feel appeals, resonates? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, welcome back group 1 or deck 1. So again, the messages are for fire signs. So whether your sun, moon or rising sign is Leo, Sagittarius or Aries, the messages may be here for you. Again, if you need to watch the videos, if you've got a sun, moon or rising sign that's earth, air or water as well, you're welcome to watch those too. I forgot to say at the beginning as well that you can watch one of the readings, one of the groups, 2 of the groups or all of them. It's up to you, entirely based on your intuition. Thank you to everyone who likes, shares, watches, comments on the videos, subscribe to the channel. It's all appreciated. And if you want a personal reading, see the info in the description box. But we're going to get on with it. So this is your deck, your main deck. We're going to start off with an oracle message from the Goddesses, Gods and Guardians deck. So we'll get about 3 messages out for that. And you know what, just bear with me. I forgot to clear the table because I know when I started the readings yesterday there wasn't enough space, so just give me 1 second. Okay, there we go, that's better, because I know yesterday that it was just like, because I'm using more cards, it's going to be a 3x3 spread, which you'll see what I'm talking about when I get the tarot cards out. It needed a lot more room. But anyway, let's firstly get group 1, your message from Goddesses, Gods and Guardians. So what do fire signs need to know for 2024, please? What do fire signs need to know for 2024? You've got 1, sexual wisdom. I'm laughing at this because I remember it came out once and I can't remember whose reading it was, but I struggled with it. And I'm not like shy when it comes to talking about sex or anything, but it felt so awkward. I think I repeated the reading multiple times, and in the end, the reading that I did post, it didn't, this card wasn't in it. It was just really weird. It just, I think it was earlier on when I started doing readings and I wasn't quite comfortable talking about that on video. But yeah, anyway, any other messages? So as I said, this is Kadesh, sexual wisdom. Interestingly coming up in fire signs readings, because fire, sexuality, you know, anything else. And strangely yesterday I did readings for air, and as I was like preparing the reading, I thought, I wonder if someone's sex life is going to improve or someone's going to explore their sexuality in a different way or more in 2024. And nothing came out for them sexually, but maybe it's because it was your energy. Anyway, anything else, please? So we have Merlin, cosmic knowledge. Also, I forgot to say, for your messages at the end of the reading, I've chosen the Whispers of Love deck. So that's interesting that you get the sexual wisdom card and Whispers of Love involved. But anyway, cosmic knowledge. And let's get you 1 more. So these messages at the beginning, I think I will have a look at the book and take what's necessary. The messages at the end of the reading from the Whispers of Love deck, and it's not usually necessary for me to read those, so I probably won't be reading those. Let's get 1 more for fire signs, please, for 2024. anything at all. That's too many. I feel like I need to take them, actually. I will take them. I'm not necessarily going to read them all, but I do feel it's necessary to take them. So you've got Ra, share your gift. You also have how do you say it again? Amaterasu. I've said it enough times now, I should know how to say it. So what am I going to read? I'm not going to read Amaterasu. That is basically, it's a card of shining your light. It's Queen of Wands energy. It's where if you've kind of been hiding who you are, hiding your abilities, and you've got it right next to the share your gift card, it's a card of bringing it out into the open. Don't hide who you are. Whether it is about knowledge, just your personality. For someone, I will say it could be something to do with someone's sexuality as well, just because that sexual wisdom card is there. But yeah, it's basically about put yourself in the spotlight, don't hide who you are, you know, being your authentic self. And again, as I said, there's the whole gift thing, sharing your gifts. I don't necessarily think I'll need to read the Ra message either. I will look at the cosmic knowledge and the Kadesh sexual wisdom card. So let's get Kadesh out of the way. First of all, the sexual wisdom card. So if I can find her. So it says, embrace intimacy, celebrate your sexuality. So there is a big focus here on intimacy. And to be frank, in terms of no more hiding and intimacy, there is a connection there. Not necessarily, I mean, it could be sexually for someone, but intimacy, it's sharing the deeper parts of yourself, isn't it? It goes beyond that surface level, you know, like conversations. Oh, how are you? What do you do for work? That kind of stuff. How's your family? It's the deeper stuff, isn't it? Intimacy. And that comes in with no more hiding. So in relationships, how intimate are you with your partners? I don't mean sexually. I mean, how much of yourself do you share? Do you hide parts of yourself? Do you feel like there are parts of you that won't be accepted? Anyway, so I will read the whole of this message. Kadesh is an ancient Egyptian goddess of sacred ecstasy. Her origins are in the Canaanite regions of ancient Levant. Just making sure I'm recording. In the Middle East, her name was Kadshu, which means Holy One. It is said that in Levant, the cult of Kadesh involved recreating the rite of sacred marriage. Priestesses called Kadasha, holy or pure ones, may have been sacred prostitutes, women who offer sex as a sacrament or sacred feminine healing act. In Egypt, she rode naked on the back of a lion, holding a snake, a lotus flower, and papyrus plants. Kadesh possessed great knowledge of sexuality as an expression of the divine. This card signifies a time of sexual healing and new experiences of intimacy. Kadesh can activate your intuitive wisdom about sex as a sacred, nourishing force. She says the easiest way to access your sexual, spiritual knowledge is to tune into your body. Be still and become aware of your breath. If you can, place one hand on your heart area and the other on your belly, or simply focus on the sensations of your body. Imagine your sexual energy as a spark of light flowing through you. Ask yourself, what does my sexual wisdom want me to know? Listen to the first feeling or impression that arises. If nothing comes, don't worry. You're tuning into your higher sexual consciousness, whether you know it or not. The insights may come hours, days, or weeks later. Maybe you want to be more sexually expressive and creative. Or do you need permission to experiment with being polyamorous or celibate, for example? It could be that sexual blocks or trauma are coming up for healing. I'll lead you to the right support. Offer up all your desires and wishes about the sacred erotic to me. Let me bring you all the sensual pleasure you deserve. Additional meanings for this card: explore sacred ecstasy rituals, how sex connects to the divine, work with a sex therapist or relationship counselor, or communicate your sexual needs to your partner, and it's got partner, the S in brackets is in partners. So the invocation says, my sexuality is natural, I'm worthy of ecstatic pleasures. So I'm not going to babble on about that one. It is what it is. If you haven't already seen it, if you're kind of newer to the channel, I did do a video called Embracing Intimacy, Sensuality and Your Sexual Side, where I kind of go into that kind of stuff in more depth. It was quite a fun reading to do, and I enjoyed doing it. So if you want to watch that, then just sort of, you'll find the video on the channel. I could potentially put a link at the end of this video, but yeah, or a link in the description box, but that's there as well. So let's look at that Merlin card. So Merlin Cosmic Knowledge, and then I think, yeah, the rest of them I'll leave, because share your gift, it's your gifts, it's your abilities, your magic. I mean, also, just because that share your gift is here, I did a video called, it's another pick a card reading called What is Your Magic? It was a Halloween special, but it is a timeless video. So if you are interested in watching that and thinking about your gifts, your talents, your abilities, whether it's spiritual, non-spiritual, that might be of interest to you as well. But anyway, let's look at Merlin. So cosmic knowledge, it says, magic is coming, your answer is written in the stars. Merlin represents the magician, wizard, sage and wise one archetype and features in both Arthurian legend and medieval Welsh poetry. His speciality, if I can actually speak, is divine alchemy, the transformation of heavy physical matter energies into higher vibration energies. Merlin uses the spiritual tools of a purple energy cloak and rainbow chakra wand to bring forth universal knowledge. He's a guardian of Avalon, the multi-dimensional realm connected mainly with sacred sites in Glastonbury, England. Drop everything you're wrestling with, leave the mind struggles, stop trying to figure it all out. Don't rely solely on 3D logic. You need to look beyond the physical and open your energy to the mystical forces that govern our universe. This is where your answer for healing lies, beyond the veil, in the constellations and transits of the planets, deep inside the mysteries of the cosmos. You're now harnessing ancient wisdom from the Avalon mystery schools of Merlin. He taught metaphysical subjects such as alchemy, sacred geometry, astrology, divining, and energy healing. There was a vast cosmic library containing esoteric texts by divine scholars. Let Merlin help you remember your magical powers. Whatever you're seeking right now, your inner magician knows how to find it. Meditate and ask your third eye chakra to reveal what you need to know. You can visualize Merlin's rainbow light streaming from your chakras to heal yourself, a relationship, or a karmic issue. You're a wise soul with knowledge from other worlds. Trust the powers conferred by your purple cloak and crystal wand given to you many moons ago by the supreme sorcerer Merlin. Alternative meanings are clear the energy with a person, place, or situation to experience immediate relief and resolution. Your life purpose involves using and teaching astrology, energy healing, chakra balancing, or magic. Study vortex healing, a holistic system of energetic healing from the Merlin lineage, or visit Glastonbury to reconnect with the sacred sites of Avalon. The invocation says, I call upon my deep magical powers. The universe is working with me in mysterious, miraculous ways. So you really do have quite a magical, spiritual kind of reading. I mean, there's a lot about energy there with the whole gifts, share your gifts, cosmic knowledge, sexual wisdom. So for this particular group, there really could be something here in terms of spiritual arts, energy healing, that sort of thing. And there may be a need for you to express that or heal, or help others heal, as well as helping yourself to heal. But let's see what else comes out for you with your with the tarot card. So as I said, this is going to be a different layout from usual. It's going to be 3 by 3, which you'll see what that means when I actually get the cards out. So the first row, row of cards is going to be like the past energy. And I feel it's important to do past, present, future, because it shows you the progression and the journey that you've been on to where you're heading, where you've been and where you're heading. So past energies first of all, if they actually want to come out. And as I said to when I was filming yesterday, if you feel like the shuffling is too much, just fast forward through the video until the cards come out. I know shuffling is not for everyone, but I do like you to see that see the cards as they come out, rather than just have everything spread out, because you don't know if someone's just picked a bunch of cards themselves and made up a story to you, which I'm sure they haven't, but I like you to see the process. So yeah, you're free to fast forward through if you can't be bothered to watch all the shuffling. God, you got that card of no more hiding, and the cards are taking 10 years to come out. Right, you've got Page of Wands. I mean, that for me, first thing that comes to mind, Page of Wands for me is identity, exploration, and this time identity was the first one. I think a lot of the time exploration comes out for me, but yeah, this time identity came out. So, nope, that's too many. We'll get there. We will get there. In fact, let's move that little Page of Wands up. This is a very small table. I have explained that before, but I make it work. Anything else for past energies for fire signs, please? Fire signs, I'm going to have very muscly arms at the end of this. Let's just move the mic actually, because it's dragging a little bit. past energies. So yeah, still I'm thinking that no more hiding card is there in the cards. They're just struggling. You've got the Devil in reverse, which it's better in reverse than upright, I think. So yeah. I think, no, let's try that again. I was going to take it, but I think I'm going to try it again. Not 100% sure that felt right. Right, there we go. We have the Page of Swords. Right, present energies, please. You've got the Page of, wow, which page is missing? The Page of Pentacles is missing. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, that happened a lot yesterday where the cards took that out. You've got the Ace of Wands, excuse me, in reverse, and the Knight of Swords. Let's get one more for the present energy. Ace of Swords. It's interesting that you've got quite a few swords there. You've got a lot of pages and a lot of swords, so truth seeking or truth or expression. Right, and finally let's look at the potential future energy. The future's not set in stone, is it? So this is the 2024 energy. Excuse me. Oh, that's actually very good that the Empress is there. And the first thing that's coming to mind is like a new you. With the Empress coming out there. So you got the Six of Pentacles there and the Five of Pentacles. And then finally for the 2024 energy, you have, right, so Nine of Swords and the Nine of Wands. I mean, that is a bit of a nervous, I would say, energy, but that's okay. We'll work through that and see what comes up. So I'm going to get your clarifiers out. So I'm not going to be clarifying necessarily every single thing on here. So first of all, looking at the energy. So this is past energy. This is where you've been. So this column of cards, it represents you. So it's a representation of you specifically. The middle column, it's what you need to know about the situation or yourself. And the end is just like what you can learn from it or guidance. But past energies here. So as I said, we've got a card of identity and exploration here. This is, I would say this is where you've been. We've got the Devil here, which usually represents the things, it's fears, isn't it? It's the fears, it's things that hold you back. It's in reverse. It's good that it's in reverse because it means that anything, if there are any hidden parts of yourself, you've probably been exploring the hidden parts of yourself and kind of re-identifying yourself possibly, or anything that's held you back, you kind of have been releasing that. You've got the Page of Swords at the end as what you can learn from that situation. I would say what you can learn from that situation is to investigate more, explore more of yourself, be open to more. I will get some clarifiers just to have a brief look if there's anything deeper that we need to know about the past energies, but that is pretty straightforward, to be honest, so I don't think we'll be spending too much on that. So first of all, for the Page of Wands, if you can see any white powder on these cards on the table on my hands, it's purely innocent, it's just cornflour. Because this deck was extremely sticky, so the cornflour doesn't harm the cards, it just helps to loosen them up. So Page of Wands, Ten of Cups. Let's get one more. See, I'm getting this message again. Love that. I love the fact that the Queen of Wands is there. With that, so I still feel it's about identity and exploration. So it's your own identity. It's both. It feels like both. It's exploring who you are, what your gifts are, what your talents are, what makes you feel fulfilled. And I've said this before, it's a really weird way to put it, but it's what makes you feel whole. And it's not necessarily that I feel that people are ever not whole or incomplete. I mean, maybe you could put it that way, but I think for me, the way I put it is there are times in your life where you feel like yourself, and there are times when you don't, where you feel like something's missing. So I guess in that way it is kind of incomplete. But this is where you've explored that in terms of your identity and the light that you shine into the world, and what gives you joy, basically. So let's have a quick look at the devil. Right, we have... So these are both in reverse, the Wheel of Fortune and the Eight of Pentacles. So this is what you need to know about the situation. So I would say through your exploration of your identity, of what makes you happy, etc. There probably is something about work here with the Eight of Pentacles. I mean, that is typically about work. You know, in terms of like your life purpose, it mentioned life purpose. Was it in the Cosmic Knowledge card? I mean, you've got share your gifts as well. There might be something about your life, feeling about your life purpose, whether it is directly related to your career or in general, because sometimes people can separate work, as in work to make money, and their life purpose in general. I mean, there are plenty of people in the world who have a 9-to-5 and it doesn't faze them in any way at all. Like, they literally don't give a shit. Once they leave that 9-to-5, they go home. And then there are other people where it's like it has to all tie together, like the career has to be, it's part of their identity, you know what I mean? So, and then you've got the Wheel of Fortune, which is about destiny. So that really could be to do with your life purpose, actually, what's held you back, kind of addressing what's held you back. And it doesn't mean you've and I'd say actually that you probably haven't completed the process, with the Page of Swords being what you learn from the situation, because it does feel to me like it's kind of like, You've probably explored to a certain extent, but further investigation is required. Let's just get a 1 or 2 for that Page of Swords. So this is where you've been. Justice, yeah, it's in reverse. So to me, that means that it's like an incomplete process, which, to be frank, you're always discovering who you are and what makes you happy. But for this particular chapter or cycle of your life, it's like it's still ongoing. So that's your past energies. That's where you've been. And it feels like it's still a work in progress, to be honest. Exploring your identity, your destiny, your life purpose, possibly. So let's look at the current energy. So you've got the Page of Cups that represents you in the present. And that, for me, it's like, I did say it's a work in progress. And we've gone from, so we've got the Page of Wands there. He's the explorer, isn't he? Or she. It's the explorer energy. The Page of Wands is where you express who you are, you express how you feel, but it's the very beginning stages. And then you've got the Empress. I mean, that even goes beyond the queens and the kings, doesn't it? The Empress, that's like she ranks above them. So this is where in 2024, if you were looking at it down this way, it looks as if, right, you've done the exploration, you're figuring out who you are, what you want to express, you begin to express, and then it's like you've kind of mastered it by the time you get to the Empress. It's like you really know who you are by that point. So let me just get these clarifiers out again. So Page of Cups, as I said, that's where you begin to express. So that's probably where you are now, where you've started to express who you are, what you feel. Anything specific we need to know about that? Well, I mean, that is just shining your light, isn't it, for a start? That is literally shining your light. Whatever gifts, abilities you have, thoughts, feelings, and you've got the Knight of Wands there, who, for me, I keep saying they're fearless. They're ready to go off on a new adventure. It's the beginning. You've started. The process has begun. The process has literally begun. Or if it hasn't literally started, I feel like it probably has begun. You're willing to do it now, and you're starting. You're about to put things in motion. But for me, because the sun's there, it feels more like you probably have just started. So that could be like, say, if you had a talent, musical talent, but you've kind of kept it in the shadows for years. It's like now you've just started to put yourself out there. Like maybe if you were someone who created music privately at home on computer or whatever, it's now you're starting to you might be starting to share it online, or you might be starting to play small little gigs, like unpaid or something, but it's like the beginning stages of something. If you've got magical or spiritual, should I say, abilities, it's being aware of those and starting to use those. Like maybe you've realized that you enjoy tarot or something, or you've got psychic abilities or something, and you started to test it out with friends and family, or you might have started to do it online or something like that. It's those types of things. So let's look at what you need to know about the situation. I mean, I did say it feels like the beginning stages, and for me, a lot of the time, well, depending on the reading itself, well, everything else that comes up in the reading, certain cards, if they're in reverse, it's more a work in progress. It doesn't mean it's the exact opposite, and it depends on the clarifiers as well and what else comes out with it. But for me, this Ace of Wands, I did say it's kind of like the beginning. It still feels, as I said, even up here, it's still like the beginning stages or a work in progress, or it just means that there's more to do. Like with the Knight of Swords being there, I would say there's more expression is needed, and then you get the Ace of Swords at the end as well, which can be a card of expression and truth, can't it? So you might have come out a little bit of the shadows, out of the shadows a little bit with whatever this gift, talent, whatever it is, but there's a lot more of you to come out to get to that point of mastery with the Empress. So right, Ace of Wands and the Knight of Swords, Three of Pentacles, that for me is like bringing things together, isn't it? But it's where you're working at it. I've just said I'm not clarifying every single card on the table, and I've kind of not with a million clarifiers though this time, just a few. Anything else for the Ace of Wands and the Knight of Swords? And there may be a need to collaborate with people. So it's about bringing things together, but you might need to collaborate. See, the Knight of Pentacles, this is someone who takes the necessary steps, but it's step by step, isn't it? So as I said, it still feels like it's kind of a work in progress, because the Knight of Pentacles is on the path, on the journey, taking the steps, making it happen. So I'll leave that there. As I said, what you need to know so far in the present is it's a work in progress. Ace of Swords, as I said, it's like a need to express more still. Let's see what comes out. That's kind of what you can learn, or guidance in the present. So Ace of Swords. And I have to say as well, because the sexuality stuff is there, if this is, because the messages don't all have to relate. I mean, I would say in particular, those three, Cosmic Knowledge, Share Your Gift, and No More Hiding, probably relate to each other. But I mean, the sexual wisdom could connect with all of them, but for someone, it might just be the sexual part. Again, as I was saying at the beginning, it could be that this could be relating to someone's, just purely about someone's sexuality, and maybe even their identity as well. Not necessarily sexual identity, just identity in general. That you've explored your identity, you've figured out what holds you back. There's more to figure out. The Page of Cups could be, I mean, for someone, that could be slowly coming out of the closet in any way, shape or form, whether it is in terms of your sexuality, in terms of your real personality. Like for all we know, maybe you are someone who's like into cosplay or something, but that's a part of yourself that you've really kept hidden. Or there is something that you're into that is quite unconventional, and you're really coming out about that and sharing more of yourself. There was something else that came to mind and I've completely forgotten it. Maybe it is sexuality, but not in terms of coming out of the closet as in what your sexuality or orientation is, but just sexual awakening in a way. Like you maybe you've had a dry spell, or you just haven't explored your sexuality in general, and you're coming out with, coming out and exploring that more. But yeah, so we've got expression. We've got this Three of Cups again. So with the threes there, it's like, it's kind of sharing it now. It's sharing it with others. If you've kept it all to yourself, it's kind of sharing it, and sharing it with the right people. And for me, that Five of Cups it's a bit of worry. So again, if it was sexuality or whatever it is, in terms of your identity, who you are, that you're sharing more of, there is going to be a little bit of worry there about who you can trust, if you're going to be accepted, rejected, that kind of thing. Even if it's gifts as well, if it's just about expressing gifts, abilities, talents, you're going to worry about whether it's going to be accepted. And again, in terms of support, is anyone going to support you with it? Whether it's support as in appreciating the work that you do, or support as in helping you to do it, helping you to do what you want to do and express. So one more for that Ace of Swords, please. Four of Cups. Let's get one more for that. Yeah, see, that's a card. That can be a card of rejection, can't it? Along with that Five of Cups. It's not saying you are going to get rejected, but there might be fears about that in terms of expressing more of yourself. You might be a bit reluctant to kind of fully share, or very tentative in how you're doing it because of the fears of rejection, which absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. I mean, this could even be as simple as somebody who's started dating again. If you take No More Hiding and Sexual Wisdom, it could literally be someone wanting to start dating again. The same applies. It can apply in that sense as well. Figuring out who you are, what you want, and putting yourself out there a little bit more. But yeah, you would fear rejection with that. And there's definitely a need to be authentic with that Knight of Swords, regardless of what the specific matter is with the Knight of Swords and Ace of Swords, Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, it's an opportunity. You just have to see everything, or not everything, but you have to kind of see it as an opportunity to express yourself, and try not to focus so much on the fear of rejection, which is very much easier said than done. But take it as an opportunity to express. And you, again, there's that whole thing of learning. If things don't turn out exactly as you desire or plan, or you do get rejected or hurt, sort of do the best that you can to learn from that as well, rather than let it kind of drag you down and then you just hide again. And yes, as I said, it is easier said than done sometimes with some things. I mean, especially like something like sexual orientation. It depends on what country you're living in the world, what city you live in, who your cultural group is. There's a lot of things that impact how much of that you can express, isn't there? Right, so the Empress. So this is the 2024 you, basically. So 2024 you, the Empress. It looks like mastery. That is where you love yourself, you love who you are, you're not afraid to express that, you're empathic or empathetic to other people as well as yourself. Do I even need to clarify that? I mean, I'll clarify it just to see if there's anything specific that comes up, but that's pretty Temperance. I mean, that's harmony, isn't it? High Priestess. Let's get one more for that. Those are very spiritual energies as well. So if this is something to do with sharing spiritual gifts, with the High Priestess and Temperance being there, that is kind of bringing it all out into the open, really. Three of Swords. Let's see what comes after that. What is after that Three of Swords? Far too many. I mean, the one thing that's coming to mind is, in terms of spiritual gifts, it's you could be a healer of some sort or involved in helping other people heal. You may have kind of helped yourself to heal in certain matters in your life and shared that story as well and use that to help heal people. We've got the, yeah, I mean, that whenever I see the Eight of Pentacles when I'm talking about that kind of stuff, that's usually where you've done the work. But it means that you can also help others to do the work. And it's also inspiration as well, where even if it isn't spiritual, once you've mastered something, you are in a position to kind of inspire others, whether it is just through them observing you or you literally are involved in helping them to help themselves, basically. But it looks, as I say, it looks like a point of mastery. I mean, there's the abundance. She's abundance. The Empress is abundance, beauty, creativity, that sort of energy. So let's look at the Six of Pentacles. So this is where you could be heading. I think if you express more of yourself and stand by your truth, abundance is in store. And just mastery overall. So what you need to know about that Six of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles. I mean, the first thing I would say is, again, just being mindful of any fears of rejection, because we've got that Five of Pentacles there. And the Five of Pentacles is like, can be considered to be rejection. Six of Pentacles is that giving, generous energy where you just give. You're not giving to receive, you're giving to be generous. Could also be a financial element to things as well, about balancing your finances, being careful to balance your finances in whatever you're doing as well. Let's see what comes up for that Six of Pentacles and Five of Pentacles. I would say financially, or in terms of your time and energy, being careful about giving too much. That's one thing, because it can deplete you. Like, say if you become a healer, or spiritual whatever teacher or something like that, you can end up giving too much of yourself and depleting yourself. Or if it was a creative talent or something, you could put so much into it and give so much that you end up broke or, again, physically depleted. That's something as well. And even in relationships as well, if it's relationship related, that can happen too. If you put yourself out there too much or give too much of yourself, that you end up at a disadvantage. But let's have a look. It's interesting how that Queen of Swords just flew out there. I'd say with her flying out, it's kind of a message. Yeah, Page of Swords. Remember what your truth is. Like, be open to other truths as well, to other people's truths, other truths out in the world, but stand by your truth, and maybe constantly. And I think we do need to do this. Our truth doesn't necessarily have to stay the same throughout our whole life. It can change as well. There may be something here about where your values might change as you continue on your path. actually, with the Six of Pentacles and Five of Pentacles. Let's see what comes out here. Why are so many coming out? I can't take that. That's like half the deck. I'm kind of tempted to take these, but no, try again. Oh, that's interesting, because remember I said that your values might change, and then you've got the World, Seven of Pentacles, Two of Wands. I mean, it feels more like it should be that way. So that, for me, that's where your values could change, or your path could even change, because what you're currently doing, it might evolve. Or sorry, what you're going to be doing in 2024 might evolve, and you kind of redirect or choose a different path and start a new cycle. So, okay, that's interesting. Six of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles. What do we need to know about that? Right, you've got the Emperor. I'd say that's about responsibility, whether it is that you are now in a position of, or will be in a position of responsibility in 2024. So again, it could be that lead by example thing. It could be that you become your own boss, or you're a spiritual teacher and you are having to balance finances. Again, it could just be talking in terms of be very responsible with your finances. Anything else? You got the Lovers. It's giving maturity as well, like maturity is called for. See, there's that Four of Swords, which can, so again, back to the other message about being careful about depleting yourself, because the Four of Swords there, and maybe a redirection in your path. You might be reassessing again what you value, what you love, what you feel connected to. There may be something there where that changes possibly, but you are the one in charge. Just because you choose a path, if you get to a point where you really feel disconnected and you can't reconnect with it, then you can change it. You don't have to just stick it out just because you've said you're going to do it. I mean, obviously it depends on what it is, but or what the circumstances are, but there's room for change, isn't there? Let's just get one more for that. You've got the Six of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles. Again, it's just those pentacles are just purely, well, not purely, but mainly making me think of values. You know, bearing in mind what you really value, what's really important to you. And again, we've got this whole generosity thing. Yeah, there's a comfort zone here with that Nine of Pentacles. You've got giving and generosity there, but you've got that Nine of Pentacles, which, as I say, can be stability, but it can also be a comfort zone. So there really could be something where you go on your path and you master that, and it just somehow things kind of switch up, not necessarily in a negative way. I mean, Five of Pentacles is there, so you never know. But then even if something went to shit, that gives you an opportunity to kind of change things in a way that is more abundant and more in line with your truth as well, doesn't it? Let's look at that Nine of Swords and Nine of Wands, because as I said at the beginning, that this is guidance for 2024 specifically now. It felt like nervousness or something, or some kind of reluctance. So why is the Nine of Wands there with the Nine of Swords in the kind of like potential, well, guidance for the potential future you in 2024? Yeah, that is very much about honoring your feelings, I would say. Like, don't, again, be being aware of not to be afraid to kind of follow your dream, honor your feelings, put yourself out there. Yeah, because you've got a Two of Wands here in reverse. So I think the advice overall is to try and be fearless with whatever you're pursuing, because you do have the potential to kind of master things, and then again, as I said, change, redirect, course correct if things don't go to plan, or if you master it and you want to change things or pursue a new cycle, a new path. But yeah, fearlessness, honor your feelings, honor your dream. So I think that's it for that reading. Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to leave those there, and we're going to get you some final one or two final messages of guidance for 2024. So 2024, it looks like you've been on a journey of exploration in terms of your identity, gifts, abilities, what makes you happy. You've begun the process of sort of coming out of your shell with that thing, whatever it is, whether it is gifts, abilities, sexuality, identity. And it looks like 2024 could be when you really sort of master it and put yourself out there and gain abundance from that as well. So, final guidance for Group 1, Fire Signs, for 2024, please. Anything? Getting a real workout from these cards today. Final messages of advice for Group 1, Fire Signs. Anything at all. Again, feel free to fast forward until you see a card fly out, because we could be here for a while. I'm almost tempted to pause the video actually, but nope. There we go. You got 1. You have get to know each other, learn to meet, and others' need for love. So that could relate to a relationship for someone, or for some of you out there. It could again be, I know it says get to know each other, but I could also interpret it as in terms of continuing to get to know yourself, because I've already mentioned exploring identity and that sort of thing, so it can refer to yourself as well. And also this can refer to sharing whatever abilities, gifts, talents, or whatever part of yourself you feel you've been hiding. It can be about sharing that as well. So get to know each other. It's like letting people get to know you too, isn't it? Let me get you just one more, if I can get another one to come out of this deck. This is actually one of my favourite decks. I'm going to have to use it more often. I haven't used it for quite a while, because it's quite... No, that's too many. There was about 4 there. Right, definitely that one. Right, romance. Wow, okay. Lavish the one you love with personal attention and affection. So again, there could be a relationship here for someone. Let me just get you one more. I also feel that when it says lavish the one you love with personal attention and affection, it's self-care too. And the Empress for me can be very much about self-care and self-love, and sort of honouring yourself as well. And remember, we had that thing about depletion, possible depletion, so be aware of that too. One more for Group 1 Fire Signs, please. Right, I feel like that's about 2, isn't it? Right. The heart of the matter, there is more going on than meets the eye. For me, that is that there's more to explore, more to investigate in terms of yourself and how you shine your light and put yourself out there, come out of the shadows and practice compassion, see things from a fresh perspective. So again, that kind of goes with the whole exploration thing. And if there does come a point in 2024 where you need to kind of reassess your values, or you kind of feel like a change of path, or to adjust your path or something, then bear that in mind as well. So those are your messages for 2024, what you need to know, Group 1, Fire Signs. I hope there was something helpful there. Feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel. If you want a personal reading, see the info in the description box. Again, you're welcome to watch the other readings as well. But thank you for watching, and have a blessed 2024. Welcome back, Group 2 or Deck 2, those of you who chose this deck. I've only just realised I started the reading and I just did the first group without any rings, which is quite a shock for me, because rings are my thing. Like I've always got rings on my hand. I've got quite a few ear piercings, so yeah, it's weird. But anyway, let's get on with your reading. So again, the messages are for Sun, Moon and Rising signs if it's a fire sign. So Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. Again, you're welcome to watch the readings for the other groups within this pick a card reading, or within the other elements as well. So if you've got a Sun, Moon or Rising sign that is earth, water or air as well, you're welcome to watch that too. So thank you to everyone who likes, shares, watches, comments on the video, subscribes to the channel. It's all appreciated. If you want a personal reading, see the info in the description box on how to do that. So again, these messages, it's what do you need to know for 2024. Could be relating to a very important event, a theme, a running theme, or a turning point, but we'll see what comes out. So I'm going to start off with I feel like I've forgotten to say something, but no. We're going to start off with a message, or say about 3 messages or so, a couple of messages from the Witch's Wisdom Oracle deck. So what do Group 2 fire signs need to know for 2024, please? So this is another big deck for small hands, so we'll see how long it takes to get the cards out. I've already said to the other in the other readings, if you can't stand the shuffling, then please feel free to fast forward through until you see the cards fly out, because yeah, the last group, it took a while to get quite a few of the cards out. So Group 2, what are your messages? Right. We have Watchtower of the East Spring. So, yep, I'm definitely going to have to look in the book for that. What else do we have? This is just a running theme now with this card getting taken out. It's just to remind us which what sign we're on. You get Herbal Kitchen, Alchemist. So I think I am going to do it. Yeah, I'm going to do it this way because it depends on how I think they use this title in the book. So I need to see that. And final card, Signs Group 2 or Deck 2. That's too many, that's about 3. One more, please. One more. Well, I'm either going to end up with big muscles or shoulder pain after all this shuffling. Right. Wow, yours is a little bit similar to the other one, actually. I am going to take the healer card just because it flew onto these. So we'll take that one as well. Your reading's really magical. Have been, I mean, the first one was quite a magical one as well. And we've got Witch's Hat Power. I feel like I'm tempted to take that. Right. Bear in mind, the other ones that came out were Watchtower of the East and Witch's Hat. I will look at those just to see, like, I'm not necessarily going to read the whole thing. I'll just look at those briefly and then we'll focus on those. I'm just tempted to check those out. So, I mean, this can be about empowerment, to be honest. I know that they go into sort of witch lore, that sort of thing in this book. But yeah, it's more, I think it's to do with empowerment. But let's look, yeah, we'll look at the Witch's Hat one first. So, yeah, so I'll look at the foresight message, which is foresight message, because that's just like a brief couple of sentences. It says, you are more powerful than you think. Enforce some authority. Someone is trying to influence you. Walk away from those who do not serve your highest interest. Reclaim your self-power, investigate your past lives to heal fears of persecution. So, I mean, they are probably referring more to like the witch hunts, but this can be in anything at all, couldn't it? Persecution. So, one thing that, actually, I don't want to spoil the previous reading, but, you know, anything where you feel like you're going to be kind of rejected or criticized for, or judged for doing something in particular, it's talking about reclaiming your power in that. Yeah, it specifically talks about disempowerment. So yeah, this is about empowerment here. I might keep this here. I will put it, I don't know how I'm going to squeeze it on. I'll do it in a minute. Let's look at Watchtower of the West and see what that says. So the key message for this is, Right, so the key witch's foresight, so it's just a couple of sentences here, it says, look deep within to determine what really matters. The old ways that you viewed yourself and others are falling away. Don't let your sensitivity get the better of you. Time for some peace and inner work. Time for you. Again, that feels, these two together, it feels like empowerment and like releasing. You know, in the Power of Surrender deck, there's a card that speaks of releasing something along the lines of old beliefs or limiting beliefs, or, you know, the things about yourself that the beliefs that you have that hold you back, that put you down, those kind of things. So these together are very much about empowerment. The witch card is pretty self-explanatory. It's healer. So as you can see, I'm not necessarily reading the whole message, the key part of the message. So I will read most of this one? Okay, I'll read the witch's foresight. It says, you are a natural healer. You have a natural affinity with plants and herbs. Study to qualify as a herbal practitioner. Use complementary medicine and aromatherapy to heal. You benefit from healing energies of nature. Honor its rhythms and cycles. So yeah, overall, in general, somebody could be exploring healing practices, whether it's you using them yourself, just for yourself, or you are going to actually use them to help other people. So, what did I say? We would also look at the alchemist. I mean, the alchemist and the healer is very similar energies anyway, aren't they? Herbal kitchen. So, herbal kitchen, alchemist. Again, it's a similar message about having an affinity with plants and herbs, making potions, elixirs, remedies. It says, the witch's foresight says, your ability to work with plants and herbs, I have to keep checking on recording, hails from a past life. Invest in studying plants. Your body may be giving you signals to eat a plant-based diet. Check with your doctor first, as always. Write a book of natural remedies for ailments. Pursue your dream to cook. So it might be cooking for some, but there could be something about natural remedies, again, whether it's for yourself or to help heal others. That is quite interesting, the way these messages fit together. Right, and let's look at the Watchtower of the East card as well. So spring, that refers to spring. Watchtower of what? The East. So it says, the witch's foresight says, work with the element of air to enhance your meditative and visionary skills. You will be assisted in a test or exam that is coming up. Your creative juices are flowing. This is a good time to pen your ideas. Cast your spells at dawn. So, regardless of whether you are into spells or not, right, there's some more stuff here, because it mentioned air energy and it mentions inspiration, creativity, fresh ideas, writing, tests, poetry, communication, intelligence, that sort of thing. So this is very much about air energy. So as a tarot card, it would probably be like the Ace of Swords. So you've got quite a few different things going on, but somebody could actually be studying, whether it is that you literally are at a university or school or something studying, or whether you're teaching yourself, especially like complementary therapies. I mean, I did straight after university, I just felt a real calling to like massage, reflexology, Indian head massage, aromatherapy. I did a bunch of courses in that kind of thing. I never really used them. I think I had about one paying client that I worked with, and then I was like, you know what, I actually just like it for fun. That's a lot of things with me. Like, I have a lot of hobbies. Try and turn it into a career. It's like, no, it's not a career, love. It's just something that you enjoy doing. Because I've never really been into like regular jobs, so I've always tried to find ways to be independent, and yeah, still trying to figure that one out, or work on that. But yeah, so let's get into your tarot cards. So I know you've got a lot there, but they all do connect. As I said, you've got the whole the air related energy, communication, creativity, learning. You've got the herbal complementary therapy type stuff, and then you've got the empowerment type energy there as well, and letting go of any limiting beliefs, I will call it, or outdated beliefs about yourself and your capability. So this is a 3x3 type spread, which you'll see what I mean. So we are going to do past, present and future energies, because we want to see the development of where you've been and how you're moving forward, like into 2024, where you've been and how you get to where you want to go. So first of all, past energies. So this is group 2 fire signs. So past energies first. Right, we've got the moon. I mean, that is about discovering what's hidden, isn't it? Often. Still on past energies here. Ooh, I love that, because this to me speaks of that card that came up about outdated beliefs about yourself. This feels like that energy where it's where you discover what you don't want, what you don't want to settle for, and you kind of review the past and decide, right, it's like a second chance at my life to make my life the way I want it to be. One more card for the, wow, I love that. That is a pretty amazing energy, the Fool and Wheel of Fortune. So that's where it's kind of like the change, isn't it, where you decide you want to change things, and you sort of take that leap of faith to change things. So we're going to do the current energy next. So where you are now. Ace of Wands. I mean, that's not a bad place to be, is it? That's like the beginning stages. And this has been quite a running theme so far with all the readings that I've done. It's like people are at the very beginning stage of a new cycle. I mean, as I've said before, I'm not an astrology expert, but I wouldn't be surprised if in terms of astrology, there is a lot of planetary stuff about new chapters for people, regardless of what your sign is or element is. And I did say with people, I'm going to try that again because that was too many. Even if you've started a process of something, I know in one of the readings it was like it still feels like the beginning. Even if you've already started to put things in motion, it still feels like a very new stage. Like imagine if you've been going through a spiritual awakening for like 6 months, and this has happened to me actually, where I feel like my awakening started, and then I had a reading and someone said, oh, it's like the beginning of the awakening. It's like, I've been doing this for months now, what are you talking about? But no, I agree with the person. This was years ago, so yeah, enough time has passed for me to say, yep, that person was correct. And not just it's like with spiritual awakenings and stuff like that, and just life in general, some things are just long, aren't they? Like the chapter of something is so long. Like I feel like I've been in the beginning stage of a particular thing in my life for like a good 3 years or so now, which sounds absolutely ridiculous, but it's like time. I mean, I don't know how you view time, but a lot of people say time is not, it's just a concept, isn't it? It's not necessarily real. So take that as you will. Feel free to share your opinions in the comment section. So we will take, yeah. So this is, again, this is the current present energy. You know what, this is a lot, but I am going to take it. I feel like that needs to be upright. I am going to take it. And one more for that present energy. Because I don't have to clarify every single thing on the table, to be honest. Wow, that was intense the way that came out. Right. Lovers and the King of Pentacles. Yep, I know exactly what that means. I don't even think there's any point clarifying that when I get to it. But let's look at now the future, potential future. So 2024. And I forgot to say that I think I did say at the very beginning, this can happen at any point during 2024. It might be one specific event, a running theme, a turning point, and it can happen at any time. It's kind of timeless within the 2024 time frame, if that makes sense. I'm going to try that again. Still under potential future energy. Okay, final card. Okay, so we are gonna have, right, High Priestess and the Ten of Cups. As you can see, the desk is quite small, isn't it? But it is what it is. So this, so we've got past, present, potential future. This column here, this all represents your energy specifically. So that's you. This is a representation of you. The middle column, that is all what we need to know about the situation, about you, and the end is what you can learn or the advice moving forward. So first of all, the moon, that's the energy that you would have been in the past. I mean, that's hiding yourself, isn't it? It's or keeping something to yourself, or not knowing what to do as well. That can be too. So it's something that's hidden, something that's not known. So let me just shuffle the clarifying deck for you. Right, I feel like I am going to switch these cards around because I can't see what the main meanings are to remind me when I need to refer back to them. So I've got that empowerment thing there, the learning, healing stuff, and the air energy. Right, so let's look at that moon card. We're going to clarify the moon card, which, as I said, it's something that's hidden. What else do we need to know? It's you. It's something that you're hiding, or parts of you that you're hiding or have been hiding, because that represents the past energy. So that's where you've been. That's who you were. Try that again. And as a past energy, that could be years ago, months ago, weeks ago. Page of Cups. Now, I always refer, or often refer to the Page of Cups as being like the most vulnerable of the Page of Cups. I mean, it can be that they are expressing, they're willing to express. Either way, it's at the very beginning stages. But for me, they would be like the shyest page out of all the pages. So they would be the kid where if they did have a special gift, they would probably be the shyest in letting that gift out, or speaking up in a group or something to that effect. So it's where you know you've got something, because the moon can be like deep hidden emotions as well. It's you've got something to express, but you kind of shy about letting it out, or reluctant to let it out for whatever reason. I feel like that King of Pentacles is what you aspired to be honest. Yeah, okay, I was asking myself, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Yeah, I feel like that's what you would aspire to. It's like you probably aspired to that King of Pentacles, but you were more of the Page of Cups. Like you had a lot to, it's like, you know, when people have a lot to give and a lot to show and a lot to share, but they don't, for whatever reason, whether it's the lack of self-belief, whether it's a lack of confidence, whether it's that there are others around them that are quite overbearing, so it's very difficult for them to express and let themselves out. So it's almost like you've got these energies here. You've got that expression energy there. You've got communication energy there. King of Pentacles, it's someone who's confident, builds. Again, I feel that's what you aspire to. You were probably more of that Knight of Pentacles energy. Just get on with everything and keep your mouth shut is what I'm getting from that Knight of Pentacles, and not in a negative way at all. It's just do what you have to do, stick to the rules, don't make a big deal out of anything. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting from that. But we then have, so it's like you have something that you want to express creatively, verbally. You know that you want to achieve great things, but you're kind of in a bit of a shell. Or held back in whatever way. And then you've got the Judgment card there. That's like the realization that actually this isn't satisfying. Keeping to myself like this isn't satisfying. And also with the Three of Cups there, sometimes it can be contemplating if you have the support you need, or if you feel supported in terms of wanting to put yourself out there and show the world who you are. So Judgment, Four of Cups. I mean, that's being held back, isn't it? The Devil, it's where you're held back. But as I say, what you need to know about that situation is that's where you kind of would have learned or realized, come to a realization or been aware, even if you weren't showing who you are or what you had to give, you're very much aware of what you have to give. And then you've got quite a few earth energies here with that Page of Pentacles and King of Pentacles. That connect with that healer alchemist, because that is connected to the earth, isn't it? The plants, stuff like that, that's very natural, earthy kind of stuff. Maybe it's that you recognize that was something that you were interested in, or that you would have liked to do something with, or even communication, because communication's there with which one was it? Spring. Yep, the Spring card, Watchtower of the East, and the Knight of Swords. It's like you wanted to communicate, or there was a path that you wanted to pursue that involves communication, but you kind of were held back or felt held back in terms of doing that. So let's look again at Judgment and the Four of Cups. I don't know if you saw the King of Cups trying to peek out there. Yeah, I mean, that's held back from what you are fully capable of, and it's like it's knowing that, because the Magician is the capability. You know that you can learn how to do something, that you've probably already mastered something, and you know how to do it, how to learn how to improve it or further it, but there's something that held you back here. Can we get something specifically for the Devil, just to see if we can find out what may have held people back? That's interesting. We've got the Emperor and the Five of Pentacles. So that can be feeling disempowered, really. The Emperor with the Five of Pentacles, which was mentioned here. You've got the Power card there. You just may not have felt empowered, self-empowered enough. Or, I mean, there is the possibility that for some people there have been, I already mentioned it, I think that there were, or even still are, people in your life who were quite overbearing, or just, you know, when you have people that are just louder than you in general, and it just, yeah, they're just so loud that they take up all the space, and they have a right to speak their truth and be who they are, but yeah, sometimes that's the way it is, isn't it? There are just people that are so loud that they just get all of the attention, all of the space, and everybody else is just in the shadows on the, like a wallflower or something. And for some, it could be like, I don't know why the bullying is coming to mind as well, with the Emperor and the Five of Pentacles, whether it is friends, family members, peers, that sort of thing, even in work situations, those kinds of vibes. Another thing that comes up for this as well is, if you are someone who's unconventional and you reject the authority, that is kind of like, that would probably be more along the lines of Aquarius energy, wouldn't it? Really, and actually, no, it's Leo energy as well, of not wanting to be told what to do. That's another vibe I'm getting from the Emperor and the Five of Pentacles, where you kind of realize that you don't, or you're already aware that you don't like being told what to do, but then you're still not sure what to do, even though you're already aware of that. Funny energy. But let's look at the Fool and the Wheel of Fortune. I mean, I think that goes back to what I was saying, where I said I am one of those people that doesn't typically, I'm not that interested in a typical 9-to-5 job. I think I've known from a very young age that I wanted to do something out of the box, and I guess that would be that energy as well. So the Fool, well, he's back, the King of Cups, the Fool, the Wheel of Fortune. For me, it's like, I mean, this is what you can learn from that. It's the acknowledgement that it was tied. I mean, the King of Cups for me can be connected to the moon. It is both water energy, and it's that kind of vibe. If it's time to let the cat out of the bag is what comes to mind. So whatever it is that you're keeping to yourself, or pushing down, or hiding, or just not showing of yourself, it's time to let it out, isn't it? Because upright, one of the meanings of the King of Cups is you know how you feel, but you keep it to yourself. Overall, it's a time for change. So yeah, we'll leave that there. We don't need to look at that any further, to be honest. That's fine. So we look at the Ace of Wands. That's where you are now. And as I said, it still feels like it's the beginning of a new chapter. Even if you feel like you've already put in some degree of effort, it still feels like it's very new, very fresh. You know, like if somebody started a brand new business, I mean, what's the time scale? How long do they say it takes before a new business takes off? I'm sure it's like absolute minimum 6 months or something. So as I said, even if you've been doing something for 6 months, it might still be in the very early stages. It just made me think of pregnancy, actually, where it really has made me think of pregnancy. Like if someone was 6 months pregnant, they're still 3 months away from giving birth. And then even when that baby's born, it's a newborn baby, isn't it? So that's what it's making me think of. Right, Ace of Wands. So where you, this is a representation of you again. It's new. It's new. Oops, new chapter. We've got the Lovers here. Let's get something else as well for that. I would say it's a new chapter in terms of whatever it is that you connect with, that you feel you love, that you feel is perhaps your life purpose. it's like you already know that, or you've realized that, and it's like doing something with it, because Three of Pentacles as well is where you bring things together. So you might be sharing that, you may have taken action to make something fruitful or abundant come from that. There may be collaboration involved. Am I getting relationship vibes? Not particularly, to be honest. Although the Lovers is there twice, but I'm not really getting any kind of... I mean, it could for some, but I'm not really getting that here. Watch the Two of Cups come out now, because I've said that. It's kind of inspiration, a very inspired energy. And motivated, inspired and motivated to kind of act on whatever it is that you love and feel connected to. Got a Four of Cups there. Let's get one more after that Four of Cups. Maybe something again about support there, if you don't feel it's support, that you have the support to do it, or it's not supporting you in the way that you want it to. So again, going back to the idea of starting a brand new business where, say if you were 6 months in and you're still not making a profit, that would be a form of support, wouldn't it? Like the profit supports you to survive, or it gives you the satisfaction, the profit gives you the satisfaction. And it doesn't mean a ton of profit, but like even just like breaking even is enough to know that, yeah, what I'm doing is actually achieving something, like I'm making something of it. There's a balance here, and it's not just me putting all the energy in and depleting myself. Let's get one more for that after that Four of Cups. Okay, I mean, I can see that there is an energy where, again, there might feel like it's not supporting you in the way that you hoped, but there's still that motivation, and it's like a keep on going energy, like you're still going at it. So looking at that Ace of Cups, Seven of Cups, Seven of Pentacles, it's the similar energy, that questioning, is this worth it? Like the love is there for it. It still is something that on some level is fulfilling, but there are still questions around, is it worth it? Am I doing it the right way? What else can I do? How can I do it differently? Let's get a couple cards for that. I will tell you that with the Lovers and the King of Pentacles there, I saw it straight away. The advice in the present is to stand by what you love and continue to build on that, whatever it is, whether it is a particular path, career, if it's something to do with healing, learning, communicating, whatever it is, it's saying stick with what you love. Continue to put your efforts in and build. But yeah, Ace of Cups, Seven of Cups, Seven of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles. What does that say? It's commitment, it's perseverance, isn't it? To keep going. Keep going. Let's see what else comes out, because I said there are questions around how can you do it differently as well. So for those wondering if they're doing something and they want to know what they can do differently, if it's not as fruitful as they had hoped, it's still giving an energy of just keep going with that Two of Pentacles, because that can be like the day-to-day, you know, like if you've, I mean, I've got the deck with me now, actually, the Spirit Animal Oracle deck. Oh, that's interesting. You've got time to collaborate on the bottom, after I was saying how can you do it differently. There's a card in here called a Mouse Spirit card called Tend to the Small Things. It's getting on with the practical day-to-day stuff that you need to do in life in general, and in this particular thing, to keep going, really. Anything else in terms of doing things differently? Time to collaborate, I would bear that in mind for some people. That's something that you may need to do. Right, we've got the Death card. Queen of Pentacles. There might be something here about adapting your values, or something about reconsidering your values. Anything else? Nine of Pentacles, that is interesting. I mean, the other meaning that comes up with this Death card here and these cards is, oh God, it's gone. It's literally gone. It was there and it's gone. Oh, if you are contemplating, is it worth it? This death energy can represent like you sort of thinking, is it worth it? Should I just give up? But then the Queen of the Pentacles, there's so many Pentacles here. All the Pentacles energy, it's energy of, it is an energy of commitment, isn't it? Pentacles are an energy of commitment. So for the most part, I would say it's keep going, stay committed. But yeah, there is something that came up here about changing your values. and I'm not 100% sure how that fits. I mean, looking at this Nine of Pentacles, comfort zones, Nine of Pentacles can potentially be a comfort zone. So is there something that you're doing it in a way where it is in a comfort zone, where it's like, now you need to kind of adapt that, because that will change things. And I can't see specifically what that is, but if you can identify what your comfort zone is, then maybe it can help you to get out of it or adapt it, to make things better for you, or to make things work better for you. Okay, I'll leave that there. And as I say, the Lovers, King of Pentacles, to me, it said stick with what you love, and whatever capacity that means. I mean, in terms of changing your values, it might be that, say, if you started a new business and you're focusing all of your energy on that new business and investing all of your time and effort into that, it's a case of, for a while, you might have to do another job or something. Like if you haven't already got a part-time job or something like that, you might have to do that in order to keep going with what you're doing, or find other ways to make money or earn a living, as well as continuing to do what you love. Or you may have to consider, for the time being, whatever it is that you love, that you want to grow and put your time and effort and energy to, is it something that you can make any money from, or is it going to have to be, for now, something that it's just not going to, there's just going to be no financial stability with it. So again, finding another source of income, whatever that may be, and then kind of, I don't want to say cutting back, because I would never discourage anyone from pursuing their dreams and pursuing what they love, but you're just going to have to think very carefully about the viability of things. But let's look at the Lovers and the King of Pentacles, because that is the guidance for the present. So you have the Hierophant. I mean, okay, going back to this as well. So I said one of the, well, I've given a few meanings for the Death card being there. Can be that you're doing what you're doing, but you want things to change. You want it to be abundant. You want to be able to kind of relax into it. Relax into it doesn't mean that you do jack, but it means that you do what you do and it pays off. That's another meaning for that. Right, the Hierophant. So this is this particular Hierophant card, it gives off student energy, a big student energy, learning. So again, if you're sticking with what you love, you're also learning in the process of how to make it more abundant, successful, how to become more knowledgeable in it as well. Wow. And then you get Justice, you get the King of Swords. I mean, the King of Swords is a teacher. They can be a teacher. Maybe there's something about teaching for you, because you've got that healer, alchemist energy, and the communication energy was there. So you could be teaching. That might be something that could, because the Hierophant can be a teacher as well, actually. That may be something that helps you in terms of money, the money side of things. If you're not already a teacher of some sort, there might be something about teaching that can help you to, in terms of your financial stability, and make things fairer for you. So I'll get one more for that, just to see. Eight of Swords, and you also get the Four of Wands. So there is a possibility that for someone or some people, there's something about teaching or sharing your knowledge that could kind of free you, or it's something, maybe that's part of the path, is something that you need to do. There's a teaching element involved, but it builds a new or more solid foundation. So we've got the Queen of Swords there. We're going to move on to the potential future energy. So this really does go more into the 2024 stuff. So this is where you've been and where you are now and where you're heading. I mean, we've got the Queen of Swords there in reverse. So again, it's still giving like a possible work in progress energy, but it's also an energy with her being in reverse to remember to sort of stand by your truth as well. But she represents you specifically, so you might still be holding back a bit, or you might be working on expressing more of your truth, or working on deciding what your truth is, because I did say there might be a need to adapt your values or something. I mean, it's not about changing who you are, but there might be some kind of outdated belief or something that kind of holds you back a bit. So why is the Queen of Swords there, please? Why is the Queen of Swords there, please? Ten of Cups. Two of Wands. Nine of Swords. I can see a few different meanings already, so yeah, we are going to take those in reverse. So the Ten of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune, it feels like you may, going into 2024, I don't know if it's just at the beginning or which point in 2024, there might still be a few doubts about if this is the right path for you. That's what that Ten of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune feel like. You might be wondering if expressing yourself, expressing your truth, doing whatever it is you do that feels like it is what you want to do, the path that you want to follow. There's a bit of uncertainty around it, like if it is the real deal in terms of what will fulfill you. Or even if you feel like it's what fulfills you, it's just still questions about, is this the right path though? Because there could be financial burdens. It could be that you're not getting the recognition that you want. There's just something about it that feels a little bit not 100% where you want it to be. But that doesn't mean that it can't be. It just means that it's still, as I said again, it's still like a work in progress, isn't it? So that's your energy specifically. So let's look at that Four of Wands, which is what you need to know about the situation. I mean, seeing the Four of Wands there, it's remembering how far you've come. Again, I said, although you might be at the beginning stages, if you've started to put some degree of effort in, I mean, the fact that you've actually put effort in to try and make something happen to begin with is a reason to celebrate how far you've come, especially if you've hidden yourself or what you love or whatever it is you want to share for a very long time. It's worth remembering how far you've come in that sense, and then you've got a foundation that you can continue to build, and even if it doesn't feel 100% successful, you know, you can still build more on it. But let's see. Four of Wands, why is that there? You have the Queen of Cups, the Six of Swords. We've got the Death card, we have the Two of Pentacles. It still looks like doubt. Although it is like a reminder to remember how far you've come, I still see doubt here with that Six of Swords, Death card, and the Two of Pentacles. It still looks like there's some doubt there. Let's just get one more after that Two of Pentacles. Six of Cups. Seven of Pentacles again, the doubt, the Emperor. You might have to really keep reminding yourself that you are capable. Whether it means that you stick with what you love and you make that a success, or you have to adapt. You have to adapt things, but I still see doubt there, but there is a foundation. Let me get one for the Queen of Cups on its own. I think the doubts are more, there's an emotional side to it. But let's see. Queen of Cups. Why is she there, please? Yeah, Five of Swords. I mean, that can be a card of self-sabotage sometimes, can't it? And then the Six of Pentacles. It's like emotionally kind of wondering, should I still be giving to this? Yeah, the Six of Wands kind of wanted to come out. That's wondering if it's going to be successful. So, again, if there are doubts, keep remembering how far you've come and that you have a foundation that you can continue to build on, or you can adapt the way you build on it. So final cards, I'm just going to shift those up. We've got the High Priestess in reverse and the Ten of Cups. Again, it's warnings about doubt, because the High Priestess in this particular part of the reading, so this is the future energy, potential future energy. It's like it feels here more like a lack of trust in your ability to get the fulfillment that you want out of what you're doing. So High Priestess, Ten of Cups. Queen of Wands, Ten of Pentacles. So it's advice. So it's not potential future energy. It's guidance, isn't it? It's a strong need to trust. So I would say Queen of Wands. It's still continue to put yourself out there. Like if you get to a point where you feel like, you know, I just want to give up. I'm just gonna sort of go back in my shell, stop putting myself out there, not carry on. The Queen of Wands is, yep, continue to shine your light. There can be abundance and potentially financial abundance. I don't know how quickly that can happen, but there is the potential for that, and you have to believe and trust in that as well. And again, that whole adapting thing, that you may have to adapt in terms of the finances to have the stability for a certain amount of time, not necessarily forever, but for a certain amount of time. Patience might be required. But this, whatever it is that you're doing that you love or that you feel is your path, it should still, there should still be some feeling of fulfillment from just doing it. All of the fulfillment shouldn't be based on profits and stuff like that. I mean, I know that does have an impact, like, because it can stress you out if you're trying to make money out of something and there's just nothing coming in. But just doing whatever you feel connected to in itself, there should be a great deal of satisfaction from that in itself. The Eight of Pentacles, again, it's given me that adaptation type energy, but also to continue to put the effort in. Let me get one more. Again, this is advice for 2024. Yeah, this would be if you had to adapt, not being afraid to sort of start from scratch, or try. I feel like it's more like trying to do things in a different way. I mean, it could be for some literally starting something from scratch. I mean, there's not a tower there. The tower for me, if that came up, that would signify like completely scrapping how you've already done it and starting from scratch. But this, I mean, it can be, the Page of Pentacles can be a learning energy as well. So adaptation, doing things in a different way. But yeah, overall, the future energy for 2024, it's that to have that trust in yourself and to keep going, keep putting yourself out there, do what you got to do, adapt where necessary, and just be very careful of any doubts that come up that might completely put you off. So, group 2, excuse me. Let's get you final messages from the Spirit Animal Oracle deck. I'm trying to see how long the reading is so far and I can't tell. Final messages of advice for group 2, fire signs, please. If the messages want to come out. Yeah, I was thinking, oh, shall I say again about the trust in your power? And then I've got a ringing in my ears, so I will. And it's gone now all of a sudden now that I've said it. Remember this card that came out about power? Remember, stay empowered in this. Remember your power in this. Anything else? Any other messages of guidance for group 2 fire signs, please? Right, we've got co-create with spirit. And we also have time for beginner mind. So that could be if you need to adapt. I think I'll get one more. I might have a look in the book just to see if there's any key points to pick out with that co-create with spirit. But yeah, time for beginner mind if you need to adapt things. And be prepared to learn as well. If you feel like it's not going your way, just remember there's more that you can learn that can help you. Right, owl spirit, you see clearly now. So that suggests to me that if you remain quite open-minded and you kind of, whatever you feel your spiritual team is, whether it's just your higher self, God, universe, angels, ancestors, whatever, however you feel you get messages or whoever supports you spiritually, if you trust in that and yourself, that things will become clearer. And also, as I say, keeping an open mind as well. But as I say, let me have a quick look at that co-create with spirit. I'll just point out with the owl spirit, it speaks of becoming, if you feel overwhelmed or you're just not sure what to do, stay grounded. And then it mentions walking in nature, which I highly recommend. It even mentions the hug a tree. I've said this in quite a few readings. I've tried the tree hugging and I feel it works. But as I've said, you don't have to literally, I did hug the tree, but then I realised you don't have to hug it, you can touch it. So yeah, it does, for some it does work. It depends on what you feel. And because you've got that healer alchemist, if it's not you using that, that could help you potentially become grounded as well, if you need that to help you. But yeah, back to the crow spirit message. So that's number 17. Let's just see if there's anything in particular to pick out, if I can find it. So I guess it's more to do with intentions. Again, it's trust, belief, intentions, faith, that sort of thing. And it mentions course correct as well, actually, which I've talked about kind of like saying redirecting and adapting, stuff like that. So yeah, co-create with spirit is trusting. I mean, trusting in yourself, your spiritual team, whatever you believe in, and keeping an open mind in that as well. So I'll leave your messages there, group 2. What else do I have to say? Thank you for watching. Feel free to like, share, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel. If you want a personal reading, see the info in the description box on that. So other than that, have a very blessed 2024. Welcome back, group 3, fire sign. So again, just to reiterate, the messages are for fire signs who have a fire sign as their sun, moon or rising. So Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Feel free to watch the other videos, the other readings within this video, and also for the water, air, or earth signs, if one of those signs is your sun, moon or rising sign as well. Thank you very much to everyone who watches, likes, shares, comments on the video, subscribes to the channel. It's all appreciated. And if you want a personal reading, see the info in the description box. So again, these messages are to let fire signs know what they do need to know for 2024. So it could be an important event, theme or turning point that happens at any point during 2024. So I'm going to start off with a message from the Sacred Destiny book before we get the tarot cards out for you. So we'll get about 3 messages out, and we'll see what messages you get. And as you can see, I now have rings on because I forgot to put them on at the very beginning. And as I said to the last group, I only remembered to do it in group 2. I'm really into my rings, like earrings as well. I've got quite a lot of ear piercings. I like rings on my hand. So if I notice that I've left the house without them, it's like, oh my God, what have I done? But it is what it is, isn't it? So let's get messages for group 3. Fire signs group 3. Right, that was really quick. God, yours are, you know what's hilarious about this? The other 2 groups that I read for, it took absolutely ages to get the cards out, and yours came out really quick. And I was about to say, wow, yours are coming out quickly today, so I don't really need to have much patience. And the first card you get is patience. So yeah, patience. Any other messages for group 3 fire signs, please? Miracles. Anything else? Okay, and the last one is trust. Wow, you know what? I really like the way those have come out. So whatever you are doing, pursuing, whatever it is that's going on here, if you feel like things are moving along too slowly, all of this, trust. Be patient, have trust in miracles. I would say that's like a key message. So we're going to get your tarot cards out. Straight is from the book. You will get oracle card messages at the end. I'm going to use the postcards from Spirit deck, and I'm going to list all the decks in the description box as well. But I will be reading the postcard messages. So yeah, I don't feel the need to read these. This is going to be a 3x3 reading, which you'll see what I mean when I get the cards out. So we're going to look at past, present and future, potential future energies, because I think it's good to see the progression of where you've been and how the journey of how you got there, or to the journey to where you're going. So first of all, past energy. So that's kind of like where you've been. Right, 3 of Wands first of all. Yours are oh my God, yours are coming out so much more easily than the other ones. I was shuffling for absolutely ages. I got to a point where I said fast forward, because If you don't want to watch the shuffling, just fast forward through the video. This is, yeah. And I'm actually recording, aren't I? Because that would be a bit disappointing. Yeah. So one more for the past energy. Yes, I know it's a very small table, but this is what I have, and I'm making the most of it. So 2 of Wands, 3 of Pentacles. Right, current, present energy now, please. So where you stand now, where you are now. So you have, you know what? It's not a bad thing to have these cards in reverse, to be frank. They are probably better in reverse than upright. So yeah, they probably are. But anyway, let's move on and get on to the next card. So we're still on present or current energy. 5 of Wands, I mean, yeah, I'll have to see what the clarifiers are for that before I can make a judgment on if that's good to have in reverse or not. One more for the present energy. I can see why that patience card came out, because you've got a few like disruptive type energies here where you would need patience to deal with that. So I 100% get why that patience and the miracles and all of them are there, to be honest, but patience especially. You've got the Magician and the Ace of Swords. That, I mean, to me, that feels like trust. These two together in themselves feel like trust. Trust in yourself first and foremost. So potential future energies now. So this is the 2024 energy. So you've got the 8 of Wands. Let's put these back. Okay. Oh, wow, that's quite a good energy actually. The 9 of Cups, Knight of Wands. Let's get one more for you for the potential future. Temperance, brilliant. So I would say that if things have been moving slowly, if there've been a lot of challenges, it looks like 2024, whatever point in 2024 it happens, things move, things shift, things move along. So let's begin at the beginning. So past energy. So this column, you've got past, present, future. This column all represents you specifically, your energy specifically. The middle is what you need to know about the situation, about yourself, and then the end is the guidance or what you can learn from that energy. So looking at the 3 of Wands, I mean, for me, that's where you set intentions, whether it's that you just set the intention internally or whether I mean, usually it's more so that you've taken action to put something out there, even if it's a really small action that you've taken. Right, 3 of Wands, please. This deck still feels sticky and it did get powdered, so don't know what that's about. So 3 of Wands, please. Yeah, I mean, that's someone that takes action, isn't it? The King of Wands. That is where you would have taken action. Yeah. So I would say here, well, for a start, one of the reasons you would have taken action is because you have a new truth and you're willing to stand by it as well, because the 8 of Cups is an energy of not settling. It's where you have a belief. You may even have a new belief system in general, and it's like, yep, not putting up with the old shit. I'm off. I'm doing something new, and you take action towards that. So the intention that you may have set, it may just have been leaving something behind, to be honest, whether it's a job, a relationship, somewhere that you lived, a community, a group of people, a situation, whatever it is. It's like the first step may have been just leaving something behind. That's what I'm getting for that. I mean, you may have put action towards something new as well, but the main thing I'm seeing is leaving something behind. There might have been an element of communication in there as well, but it's like you've got a new belief or a new truth with that. Let's look at the 5 of Swords. So that's what you need to know about the situation. So what I would say about that is it may not have been easy to leave whatever you left behind. You may have had arguments with people. There may have been sort of competition, difficult energies to deal with. You may have left something behind because it was very conflicted You may have had mental conflict in doing it, but yeah, I think the biggest thing is that you may have left difficult energies behind. Whether it was because it was difficult or you leaving, it caused like a ruckus, basically. That is a really old-fashioned word, isn't it? So 5 of Swords. Let's have a look at that. You've got the 10 of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups. I would say that you were seeking more stability. And that would sound like, say, for example, if you had, and I've got my mic on, haven't I? If you had left a family situation, like, yeah, I'm going down the route of divorce now, or just a long-term relationship or whatever. I mean, if you're leaving the home, like if you were someone that was leaving the family home, in a separation, divorce type separation, it would seem like, well, that's mad. That's not more stable, because now you're probably going to end up homeless. Or if you and your partner have been paying a mortgage or something and you leave that, then you're not stable. But long term, it would be more stable for you, because if you know that that relationship has got to the point of no return and it's just not going to work, you've tried everything and it's not going to work, staying in it is unstable, isn't it? It's just like you can't, some things you literally can't fix no matter how hard you try, and it's like staying is unstable. So yeah, I would say you probably, whatever you left, it's like seeking something that feels more stable and also that feels more honourable to you with that Knight of Cups there. If it was something that was kind of job related or to do with your path, it's looking for something that kind of serves your legacy more. Let's look at the 2 of Wands and the 3 of Pentacles. So that would be kind of guidance. So that's what you learn from that situation. The first thing that you would learn is that you have the choice. The 2 of Wands, you've got freedom of choice. The 3 of Pentacles, it kind of, it's along with the 2 of Wands, it's like you have the choice to do something or go somewhere where you can make something work better. And that term, go where you are valued, is coming to mind as well. You know, when people talk about go where you are valued, like say if you're in a work situation that was really toxic, and it's just one of those places where, you know, sometimes people say, oh, well, we should stay and make it better and get the unions in and all that. And yep, 100% go for that. But you know, when you've done that and you've exhausted everything to try and make things improve and it just won't improve, like you've been there for 20 years and it just never gets any better. And you get to the point where it's like the structures, what's the word? Oh my God, I can't think of the word. Not infected, but the structure is already kind of, it's not toxic, but toxic is the only word I can think of. It's like already faulty and toxic, so it's like there's nothing you can do now. The structure's already effed up, so the only people that could fix it are the people at the top, and they don't want to fix it. So yeah, it's screwed. It's just never going to get any better. You've exhausted all options now, so it's like, you know that you have the choice to go somewhere where you are valued and where things can work better for you, and you can work better within that system as well. And sometimes it's just realizing that something's not for you in general. Like another example would be in terms of spiritual beliefs, or religious beliefs. Whatever your spiritual beliefs or religious beliefs are, you might have been brought up a certain way and just realized for a very long time that this just isn't for me. It doesn't align with my truth. It's just not right. It just doesn't feel authentic. It doesn't feel right. I feel like I'm living a lie. And then even if it's not that there's anything technically wrong with that, it's just that for you, it just literally does not feel right. So it's like, no, there are places I can go where it feels more in alignment. So yeah, 2 of Wands and 3 of Pentacles. That's values. Queen of Pentacles, she knows her worth. I mean, I will get one more, I don't know why, because there's not much more I can say about that. She just knows her worth. That's what you would have learned from that, is to know your worth. Or you realise that you are worth more. Queen of Swords, she has her truth. Okay, yeah, I will leave it there. I'll leave it there because there's no more to get from that. So moving on to the current energy, 10 of Wands, 4 of Swords. I said it was better that energy was in, those cards were in reverse. I mean, again, that's your energy specifically. So it does suggest dropping burdens. I feel like it's more about dropping burdens. You may have needed a period of rest that you might be coming out of that period of rest now. if you needed a bit of recovery time or time just to gather your thoughts even, like, yeah. So let's look at the 10 of Wands and the 4 of Swords. And I've actually picked one of these up, haven't I? What was it? 2 of Wands, that was there. Right, 4 of Swords. 10 of Wands. Yeah, I mean, that's where you need to heal, isn't it? Because you've had a really difficult, very likely painful experience. So it's like you've probably dropped the burdens, but you've had a bit of time. You've been doing some healing as well. Anything else? So you've got the 3 of Wands. Love it. That means that you've dropped the burdens. You've given yourself a bit of a timeout, or you're taking a timeout in the present. I would say you're probably more coming out of the timeout now, because that 4 of Swords is reversed. So you've taken the time that you need, and now you're ready to start again. To set new intentions, which I said what you might have done to begin with is just by leaving the old behind. That might have been the initial intention. I don't know if you've literally started on a new path just yet. I'm not sure. It doesn't necessarily feel like you've done that. You could have, but it feels more like the main thing is that you've left the old behind so far, because you've got the 2 of Wands there. That's partly where you're setting intentions and choosing a new path. Excuse me. Let's just get one more after that 2 of Wands. Yeah, you're definitely choosing something that feels more in alignment with you, I'd say, with that Lover's card. You've got the 4 of Pentacles there. I would say that there's a bit of caution here, being more cautious, like not trying to jump out of the frying pan into the fire with that. Financially, you might be being quite cautious, or because of what you've left behind, you may be in a situation where you're having to be more frugal as well with your money and careful with your finances, because you might not have a lot, to be honest. So that's your overall energy there for the present. Let's look at this 5 of Wands. I'm a bit conflicted. I mean, it's a card of conflict as well. I'm a bit conflicted about that one, but let's see what clarifies it, to see if it can make it clearer. That is what you can learn. Oh, okay. I knew it. At the beginning, I was going to say, it looks like avoiding conflict, but that doesn't make sense. But I get it. I think I get it now. Let me see what clarifies it anyway, and then I'll elaborate on what I'm thinking. Yeah, that makes sense to me. You've got the 5 of Pentacles and Justice. So for me, that is where, so say, as I said before, with that 5 of Swords there, it was a difficult situation. It's where you can't reconcile things, isn't it? Where it's, and I mentioned that here as well, where if it's a situation that you've been in where it's like, there's just no way to fix this. Like I've tried everything I can, and it just can't be fixed. It's sort of learning, what you need to know about the situation is that more so reflecting on the past and going forward as well. You don't have to put up with bullshit. You don't have to stay in overly complicated situations. As I think I said, did I say it? The first thought I had was avoiding challenges, but not so much challenges, avoiding difficulty, you know, like unnecessary suffering, you know, like if you put yourself in a complex situation, say, okay, so one example I could give is, and no judgment to people, but say if you decided to date someone that you knew was the town player, whether it's a man or a woman, or you're a man or a woman, I didn't mean it like that. It's like, you know that dating the town player, it's going to be complicated, isn't it? It's going to be complicated. It's not going to be a smooth, easy flowing relationship. And obviously free will, as I said, no judgment, but that is not going to be an easy situation, because you know that there's going to be a lot of other people involved. There's probably going to be jealousy involved. It's going to be complex. Or if you decided to work in an environment that you know is absolutely chaotic, yeah, you know it's going to be hard. But if you have been the type of person where it's like you've kind of had a viewpoint before where it's like beggars can't be choosers, like say if you were struggling for money, and it's like, well, I've just got to take any job I can take. I can't, you know what I mean, I can't afford to, I can't afford to be picky. I've just got to take anything, even if it's the most horrible job on the planet. I've got to take it. Not saying that I'm disputing that, because obviously there are some situations where literally beggars can't be choosers. It's like if you don't take the worst job on the planet, you will starve to death, depending on what country you live in, what situation, whatever. But overall day-to-day life, it's knowing that you don't have to put up with bullshit, complex situations that leave you out in the cold. You have a choice, hopefully. Hopefully you do have a choice, if we're talking just regular day-to-day issues. And you don't have to stay in certain situations as well. You have a choice that you can try to leave it. At the very least, you can try to improve it, or you can try to leave it. You can be the one that rejects it if it's just bullshit and you know you have other options, or you can seek other options. You can leave it. With the Magician there, I don't think I'm even going to clarify this. With the Magician and the Ace of Swords there, again, I said it's about trust, isn't it? Trust in yourself, trust in your capabilities. If a situation completely is just dishonourable, not just to you, but a lot of these situations people can get into where they're that complex and conflicted, it's probably that way for everybody, not just you, is knowing that you have your truth, you have your beliefs, and you are capable of leaving that situation behind and doing something that is more in alignment for you and more honourable for you, even if it feels like it's going to be really hard to do something differently, or to be somewhere else, to work somewhere else, to be with different people, whatever it is. It's trusting that be empowered. You can be empowered in that. So as I say, I don't even know if you've set new intentions yet. That's the vibe I'm getting, is that you may not have a specific. Let me just, out of curiosity, see if anything specific comes up for that Lovers, because I'm not necessarily seeing a specific, like, right, so I've left that and I want to do this, and it might not tell me. But let me have a look anyway. Let's have a look at the Lovers. And especially with that Patience card there, that kind of makes me feel like it's the card that can come up when you started something and it's not quite moving quickly enough, or you haven't quite figured out all of the answers yet, and it's like, be patient in terms of figuring the answers out. So let's look at the Lovers out of curiosity. I mean, I could clarify the Ace of Swords, because that's the truth as well, isn't it? So that might give me something specific. I feel like you're still figuring it out. With the Lovers, the Seven of Pentacles and the Eight of Swords clarifying the Lovers, it is possible that you have an idea of the new direction that you want to go in, or the new path that you want to choose, or the new thing that you want to do. But with the Seven of Pentacles and the Eight of Swords, it's more of an energy of not sure what's worth it, not sure what I want to do. There's uncertainty there. But let's quickly look at the Ace of Swords and see what comes up. See if that gives us anything specific. It just really feels like you've left the old behind so far, and you're kind of trying to, had a bit of a break, a time out, and you're trying to feel your way through it at this point in time. Yep, I mean, you have a truth, you know that you're capable of doing something different, but Seven of Cups is options. Let me see if anything else comes out. I feel like the High Priestess is going to come out. I'm probably wrong, but Strength, okay. I mean, that's having the courage to face the unknown, isn't it, with the Seven of Cups? It's like you don't know 100% what you're going to do next, but right, the Chariot, again, that is a card of discipline, capability, knowing that you have the power to choose the path. And then you get the Seven of Wands and being willing to fight. But it's more fighting for yourself. Because I don't know specifically what it is, it's more about fighting for yourself and knowing that you can stand up for yourself and do what feels honourable to you. So let's look at this is the 2024 energy now. So Eight of Wands, I mean, that it could be communication, but it feels more like progression. Like where you had the Patience there, I said when you get into 24, it looks like things will move along. Eight of Wands, that is your energy coming up for 2024. It's progression, it's movement, maybe very quickly as well. But for now, patience in the present. There may be some degree of patience required in 2024 as well, because I said with these readings, I don't really do time-based readings, because as I keep saying, the future is not set in stone anyway. So they could probably be accurate if you wanted to do a time-based reading. But to be frank, why I don't know, I'd feel like it's not necessary to know as well, because what if you're given us a time and it doesn't happen in that time? Then how does that make you feel? Or you sort of sit there on tenterhook sort of waiting, right, when this month comes or when this date comes, this is going to happen. It's like, what's the point of putting yourself through that? It's hard enough for kids when Christmas comes, sitting there and trying to be patient, having to listen to your kid every day. I want to open my presents now, I can't wait, I'm impatient, you know what I mean? So it's just like, what's the point? It's just unnecessary anticipation and anxiety for you. You know, like if somebody said you're going to get married in 10 years, oh my God, can you imagine the stress of sort of thinking you're going to meet the person of your dreams and get married in 10 years? Like, who has the patience for that? You're just going to stress yourself out. Maybe some do, but I don't know. So, right. 8 of Wands. Whoa, I did say it could be fast. We've got the Knight of Swords. But this, again, as I said, it could be communication as well. It could be in terms of, one thing that it could be is where, because as I said, it can be communication, but information as well. And the Knight of Swords can be someone who delivers information. So if you are trying to figure out what direction you want to go in, this could be where it comes in very quickly, like you just suddenly, either someone tells you something that helps or you see something that helps, but it's like a really quick realization of, oh my God, this is what I want to do. And, you know, it all happens really quickly. 6 of Cups is there. Anything else? You have the 2 of Pentacles. Six of Swords, Wheel of Fortune. I mean, the 6 of Swords is a card of moving on, and then the Wheel of Fortune is change, isn't it? So there might be a bit of a review here with that 6 of Cups and the 2 of Pentacles. There might be some sort of reviewing. I mean, you might get information or something where you are able to progress very quickly, but it kind of suggests there's a bit of a review here of maybe how to do things, of what you've done before. And like if you've been through a difficult energy or challenge before, it's like contemplating, how can I not do that again? That would be one thing, of don't F it up and do it that way again, do it a new way. So those are some of the energies, but it looks like progression here. And then here, what you need to know about the situation. I mean, 9 of Cups, that's cards of fulfillments, wishes, isn't it? Knight of Wands is fearlessness. So what you can learn from the situation, if the opportunity, or you create the opportunity, or the opportunity comes to you to go in a new direction, because the Knight of Wands can be going in a new direction as well. It's kind of that, be fearless in kind of seeing if you can gain your fulfillment out of that, because there's no guarantee, but it's a kind of go for it type energy. So 9 of Cups and Knight of Wands. It's a journey. It's the Knight of Wands for me can be a journey. The Hermit is 100% a journey, and it's not just a journey of what you do, it's self-discovery involved in that as well, and the world is a journey in itself too. So it's a new you could come out of this if you follow a completely new path, or a new life could come out of it. Anything else? Queen of Pentacles. I mean, it looks like it could lead to more stability, but if you take in the Hermit and the Queen of Pentacles, again, it would serve, one way it would serve is to discover more about yourself and your sense of self-worth and value, and what you value as well. Let's get one more card for that. Is that in reverse or is it upright? So again, you've got the dropping the burdens. You've got the 8 of Cups. For me, the 8 of Cups, again, it kind of feels like review. I know the 8 of Cups is usually about, I mean, it is a journey card as well, and leaving things behind to get the 9th cup. But it feels, again, with the 10 of Wands and the 8 of Cups there, again, it's that review. And obviously, if you're introspective or doing inner discovering things about yourself and figuring out what your values are and your self-worth, then you would kind of be reviewing a bit of the past as well and the previous burden. So that's what that feels like here. So Temperance would be the final bit of advice. I mean, it's harmony, but there is also a timing element with Temperance too. So again, as I say, 2024, it looks like things will progress, but I don't know when. I mean, you've got an 8 there, and as I said, I don't do time-based readings, but the number 8 is there. I'll leave that with you, and you can make whatever you want of the number 8. because it's there. Yeah, 8 is standing out to me. So take the 8 how you will. If you want to talk in terms of time, I'm not going to put any limitations on that. But yeah, temperance, it could be requiring you to be patient, probably with yourself first and foremost, but also with the situation. Yeah, the 8 of Cups is standing out as well, actually. But yeah, I'll leave that one with you because I just don't feel like it's necessary to do time-based predictions in readings. Just my personal way. I'm not knocking anyone who does it, but yeah, just for me. And to be frank, if I went to a reader and said, can you tell me the specific time such and such is going to happen, it would be like I'd mess myself up, because I know that I'd be kind of anxiously anticipating it, because I'm just one of those people that I'd probably get neurotic and be like, oh my God, I can't wait for it. So yeah, I'd mess myself up and push the blessing away by impatience. So let's look at that temperance card finally. Sorry, I didn't mean to do all the clarifiers like this, by the way. I was kind of trying to keep it tidier, but for some reason with your reading, I've just let them go all over the place. I was intending to kind of put them back and, you know, for each row of cards. So temperance. You've got the Hierophant and the Sun. Yeah, to me, the temperance card, part of the reason for the patience is because there's a lot to learn. During the time that you have to wait or figure things out, there is a lot to learn and it will become clearer. But you can't rush that. You can't rush it. Once you get the information that you need, it can progress, and probably quickly. But yeah, until that point, patience. So I'm going to get you a final message from the Postcards from Spirit deck. Final message for group 3 fire signs. Final message of guidance for group 3 fire signs. I'm actually debating if I can do another pick a card video now, because I'm losing my voice. I do have had a bit of a dodgy throat and that kind of thing, little bug thing for a week. So yeah, my voice is kind of going. I don't know if I can do it, but okay, yeah, I'm gonna take those two. So you have, oh, I love it. I love it. What was I just saying about patience? Right. It says, so you've got two. The first one says, dear you, there is a balance between activity and rest, ebb and flow. You can't have one without the other. If you are faced with an obstacle right now, the best course is surrender and non-resistance. Soon enough, you'll see how easy it is to flow around it. Now is one of those times when you must trust the river of your life, go with the flow, and in no time you'll reach what you have your heart and hopes set on. Just remember, Spirit will keep your head above water and will direct the currents when it's time for a greater effort. You know exactly when you'll need to work those manifesting muscles. It can be challenging to master the flow cycles of your life, but as you develop your skills, affluence will be yours. Enjoy the flow and trust those currents, for we are right there with you with our little umbrella drinks, smiling at your success. Love you so very much. Okay. And then your second message, and I can see how this fits into that last section of cards that I did. Dearest you, pump up the music, bang the drums, get on up and start that hustle toward your goals and dreams. There are times to be still, but this is not one of them. Now is the time to make that first move. Say yes to life, pick up the phone, make a decision, and take that one step toward the gods or us. Expect a cascade of changes, good news, and opportunities to show up as if by magic. Well, we know it's really Spirit and all of us moving things around for your benefit. The point is that we are saying, go for it. Take positive action toward your dreams, even if the outcome isn't an exact fit for your agenda. It will all be orchestrated by Spirit and arrive in divine, appropriate timing. Don't you just love how it all works? We love you so, so much. Yep, I agree. I love how it all works, because I was saying that there's a time for patience here. But once you get that information and that inspiration and you know exactly what you want to do, that is when you make the move. So you've got the two messages there that fit in with that perfectly. So yeah, I think that was it. I quite like that reading. Hope you did too. Hope it was helpful to you. Feel free to like, share, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel. If you want a personal reading, see the info in the description box. Yeah, thank you again for watching and have a blessed 2024.